Welcome back to another episode of Watch Therapy. Today we have a Citizen triple header. On my left here, we have the ever popular in the gray dial, the Tsuki-Yomi AT Super Titanium. And in our middle is this gorgeous World Chronograph AT by Citizen. Oh, I can barely hold that, it's hot. And then on the end, we've got a little more complex, great looking. It's called the PCAT, PCAT. Look at the finishing around those three dials. Picking up the light there. The faux alligator design leather. Let's just connect with these three for a moment. Oh, I can feel the power in my hands. Citizen triple. I think we'll go ahead and start off with a Tsuki-Yomi and move on to the other two and finish up. Take a moment to connect with this super titanium, not just titanium, but super titanium case and beautiful strap. This thing, silky. And look, you can see me in the reflection on the polished middle links. How incredible is that? Very light. I reviewed the purple dial one of these a few months ago, and people went bananas. They loved it. I think this is it's just different, but equally great. We got a moon phase right there. At about 25 after, you got the loomed hands. Got a 24-hour AM PM dial there. Days of the week on that top dial. And then your aspect ratio, right, south or north. And so you can calculate moon phases for the two different hemispheres, or it can, the watch can. And you see right there on the right side, at about 3 o'clock, got the Eco Drive radio controlled. So in my experience, this watch sometime 2 or 3 in the morning picks up a radio signal. And I live in Colorado, and I found out one of those radio towers that is used across the world is in Fort Collins, Colorado, so in northern Colorado. And as radio waves go, that is just like a millisecond away. Sorry for all those prints on there. And so it grabs a signal every night and gets this thing set perfectly to have essentially atomic timekeeping. But it's through a radio frequency, so not through a GPS signal of any sort. A lot of the Seiko Astrons, that's what they do. They sync with satellites. This is radio controlled. I can tell you it is extremely comfortable. Very comfortable on wrist. I have an 18 millimeter circumference wrist. That's about 7.12 inches. Kind of get a look down the barrel there. Over the top. You can see that. It's such a great looking watch. Like I said, 43 millimeters across. And has that 24-hour dial. Retails for $850. And these are getting harder to find, like the purple dial. This one is for sale at TikTok Time Shop here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'll put more information in the description. But yeah, I think this watch, I will say, when you do go to grab a signal, and you'll see it's right down there, RX. That is when it's going to receive that radio frequency, and you can see to the left of it, it says okay, and on the right it says no. So you can check the last reading by pressing this button, and it says okay. See the seconds hand? That means the last signal was accurate. If it goes to no, that means it did not receive an accurate signal and it's not synced. That will be for all watches today. And then to actuate it, you have to have it outside under skies not moving. I found this one took a little longer to get a signal, like in my backyard, but then I had it next to my bed and I tried it because I have another watch of similar um, technical sort of prowess, and it got the signal quick and updated. But to do that, I'll just start it. We don't have time to wait, but oh boy, sorry about that. I got so excited. There we go. So you're gonna hold that and we'll go to RX. Hold it down for about 2, keep holding, boom, there it is at RX. So now it's trying to grab that radio signal, and who knows how long it will take here. But it's certain parts of the world. You don't always get, that's the one gripe about these, you don't always get a strong radio signal. And the GPS ones, again, like the Seiko Astrons, you can be anywhere in the world and grab satellites. This relies on just proximity, and I believe it is around 3,000 kilometers range from those towers. And there's, again, one in Fort Collins, Colorado. But I have been on the East Coast in New England, and it took a lot longer to get a signal. So, take it for what it is. The GPS ones might. Just depends on where you live. I live here, and so I never have a problem. I'm going to move on. We have next up a World Chronograph AT, it's called A-T, and it is such a handsome watch. This is one that grabbed my attention immediately. A little more dressy, beautiful brown leather strap. You can see that deployment clasp. And one of the things I thought was really neat, look right there, get that to focus, right there. Those circular patterns that they brushed on there. I'm not sure why right there and nowhere else that I can see, but a nice touch, a real nice touch. I think it's like any watch. You have to take some time with it, and you start seeing more and more. You can see it says genuine leather here, made by Citizen. Right, 23, I think that's the lug width, 23 millimeters, genuine leather. I will say the leather is a little stiff to start. It's a brand new watch. I think it'll break in nicely though. This is also radio controlled. As I just explained, it grabs a signal every single night, syncs perfectly to the time. So if there's any sort of lag or quartz sort of inaccuracy, which always will happen over time, even those high accuracy quartz by Seiko and Citizen. Of course, the Citizen makes some of these that have movements that are accurate, they say, to 1 second per year. I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Anybody had any experience with them, I would love to hear what you thought of it. But meanwhile, this watch for $625 versus $6,000 for some of those high accuracy Citizens. I think there's the Citizen. Literally, the watch is called the Citizen. Meanwhile, we have this World Chronograph, and look at that seconds hand. I hope that's coming out. Look, it's like a little sword on the left side, on the short side here, right? And it's like a sword handle. That's how I see it. But I love these gold indices. I think it is such a handsome looking watch. I think it's not extra dressy, but it's not something that I personally would ever go swimming with. It's not something that I would say is for sports active times. But I don't think it's so over the top dressy that you couldn't daily it. You absolutely could. This also is a 43 millimeter diameter case here. You can see those gold hands, and let me take this off so you can see that crown. I think these are all about those little touches. It's also got those circular patterns brushed in. But look at the crown, right? It's got those flat sides. It's like an octagonal shape there. There, you can see the pushers right there. You can see the world time. So this thing is able to measure any time zone. So when you get the watch, you have to basically sync it to where you are. Somewhere on here is, yep, Denver, DEN is right there. Look at that one more time. Yep. And then you can use it like that, like a chronograph. It is a chronograph. Great watch. Stop that. So tell me what you think about this. Again, a nice leather strap, same as the, well, you'll see on the blue one that's coming up, but it's got a beautiful, genuine leather strap. As I mentioned, it's a little stiff to begin. It's not kind of that buttery feel out of the box, but it'll get there. It'll get there, I have no doubt. One more look at that. So that's Citizen World Chronograph. So you have world time, chronograph function, sapphire crystal, 43 millimeter case, beautiful tapered lugs, kind of come down for $625 retail. Next, certainly not least, but it is last, is this Citizen here. And this one might be my favorite today. Look at the detail on that dial. It's a lot without being busy, I think, or too busy. And there's certainly a lot going on there, but this is the PCAT, PCAT. Literally look on the website. Who knows what that means? What does that stand for? Is that some kind of acronym? I could come up with a few things, I'm sure. But it does have a 24-hour clock. It is also radio controlled, as you see right there at 3 o'clock, it tells you so. It's also 43 millimeter. It also has nice tapered lugs that are brushed with a beautiful amount of polishing. It's a little thicker than the others. I think it's just, a super all-around watch. I mean, this watch, it's got the tachymeter scale, right? You can measure speed with that. It's got the different settings. If you look there at 6 o'clock, right? So basically what I've discovered is you pull the crown out, and at that point, if it says time, it's pointed to time, the little clock, maybe I didn't do that right. Let me try that one more time. There. So see the dial at the bottom, the little arrow, it's kind of got the seconds hand in the way, but it's pointed to time, then you can set the time. If you turn it one more, this way, you can set the alarm. See that down there. Up here, it's going to be at the chronograph. So you can use that as a chronograph. And that's how you go through the different modes. Super easy, super comfortable on wrist. I think I'm going to say eventually. Just like the World Chronograph AT, it's got this beautiful, genuine leather Citizen strap here. And it's interesting. In Japan, I don't know if it's America, they call them belts. This is the belt. I guess it is kind of a belt. Love the stitching, love that detail. That white pops out nicely. Looks great on wrist. I like the pushers. They're, not gaudy. They're not sticking way out. And look at that. It's not even hitting. Of course, I have a little bit of a callus there from other watches. It's not even hitting there, so it's not going to, give me some kind of constant rubbing or soreness where I'm forced to wear it on my right hand versus my left because it's just poking into me too much. Not the case here. Not the case. So this one, as you can see, it's water resistant to 200 meters. It grabs that signal every night for incredible radio controlled or radio timekeeping, I guess what you would say. I've been learning about radio waves, electromagnetic waves, the spectrum. I don't know if anybody watches Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk. Great show on YouTube. A little binge watching I've been doing there. But this watch here, I think, is really my favorite today. I love the 24-hour clock. I like the tachymeter scale. I like the mix of brushing and polished. I love these, really bold tapered lugs, and I just think it looks the business. I think it's another example of citizen just punching way above their weight. This watch is a sub $1,000 watch. I think it's in the $800 range. If anybody knows exactly, let me know. But it brings a ton to the table. It's a sapphire crystal, and I don't think it looks like just like everybody else's watch, a watch you see everybody else wearing. Okay, I think this one is just it's his own watch. Super active. I can imagine taking this, wearing it, anything from sailing to out to dinner with your friends. I could see it. I've used the tachymeter in another watch I have to measure speed in my car, right? And so in a nutshell, as the seconds hands moves, right, over you can test it over a mile, right? You would start recording, and if it stops here, that's the miles per hour that you're going. So that'd be obviously very fast, but as that seconds hand goes around and around, right, you're probably driving more somewhere over here. You're going to cross that line, the mile marker line, right around here. Or if you're going slower, it's going to be back up here. So it looks like you could go as slow as 60 miles an hour right there at 12 o'clock. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. I just had 3 great citizens that, I think are just, I don't know. I can't find much wrong with them. I don't know what it's like to live with them on a daily basis, but my experience is this is just another incredibly well-built Japanese product that will last a super long time. I think it looks more expensive than it is. I think that it, has the scratch-proof sapphire crystal or scratch-resistant. And all 3 of these, let me bring these other 2 back on camera, I think are just great looking. The super titanium, this just should be called Super Watch. Take a look at that one last time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if there's any other watches you guys would like, I can get a hold of quite a few different citizens and Seikos specifically. If you have any questions, like I said, or requests around that, a different watch, or maybe a more in-depth review of either, any of these 3, please let me know. I hope you have a great day and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.